Confidence isn't something you are born with, it's a choice. The only reason you feel a lack of it is because you haven't installed it yet. Remove the version of yourself that doubts and replace it with the one that conquers. You might think your personality, your habits, and your reactions define you. But what if I told you it's all just a program your brain has been running since birth? Your identity was programmed into you. Your beliefs, your fears, even the way you perceive yourself, none of it is truly yours. It was shaped by your environment. The people around you influenced how you see yourself. Repetitive thoughts make it stronger. The more you believe something, the more your brain accepts it as reality. Society's expectations taught you who to be, what to believe, and what you can or cannot do. But here's the thing, your identity isn't fixed. It's a habit. The way you see yourself is just neural pathways strengthened over time. The more you repeat a belief about yourself, the stronger it becomes. That's why change feels so hard. You're trapped in an identity you've reinforced for years. What if you could delete that program and install a new one? That's what this brain hack does. It forces your mind to abandon its old identity and accept a new one instantly. Once you do this, your fears, doubts, and weaknesses start to fade because your brain no longer recognizes them as part of who you are. Before we go into the technique, understand this. Your identity was never really yours. Think about it. Did you actually choose who you are today, or was it shaped for you by parents, culture, teachers, and society? From birth, your identity was assigned. You were told what's possible and what isn't. Labeled as smart, shy, or average before you even had a chance to decide. You learned rules of what's acceptable and what's not. Here's the part no one wants you to know. Your identity wasn't built for you. It was built to make you predictable. Society depends on people being consistent. Predictable workers, consumers, citizens. If everyone constantly reinvented themselves, the system would collapse. So instead, you were taught, this is who you are, some things never change. That's a lie. Science proves the brain is neuroplastic. It can rewire itself anytime. The only barrier to becoming someone new is the story you keep repeating to yourself. This brain hack is powerful because it overrides the conditioning that keeps you trapped. Most people will never break free from the identity assigned to them, but in the next few minutes, you'll learn exactly how to. The hack is called cognitive identity override, a psychological method that forces your mind to reject the old self and adopt a new one instantly. Remember, your identity is a story, and stories can be rewritten. The person you are now is just a story you've been telling yourself for years. I'm bad at talking to people. A story. I lack confidence. A story. I'll always struggle with money. A story. None are facts, they're self-imposed limits. Your brain repeats them so much they feel true, but they are just narratives, and they can be erased. Once erased, you replace them with a story that empowers you. That's what this hack does. It rewires your mind to accept a new identity as reality instantly. Your brain is wired for safety, not success. It clings to the familiar, even if it's filled with insecurity or doubt. Familiarity equals safety. Change equals perceived danger. That's why breaking old habits feels impossible. The brain resists disruptions. It doesn't care if you're unhappy. To force change, you must override this system and shock your brain into releasing the version that holds you back. Here's the method. The 24-hour identity reset. For the next 24 hours, act as if your old self no longer exists. That self, full of doubts, excuses, and old habits, is gone. You are now entirely new, and you must live it in real time. Words and thoughts shape reality. Every time you reinforce an old identity, you strengthen it. Today, refuse to play that game. Reject every old identity thought immediately and replace it. Examples of old versus new identity statements. I can't handle pressure. I thrive under pressure. I've always been this way. The new me operates differently. I'm bad at talking to people. I am socially confident and articulate. At first, your brain will resist. Doubts, fears, and excuses will surface. That's because identity is built on habit loops, autopilot cycles. Interrupt them enough and your mind enters a state of identity confusion. This is your chance to reprogram yourself. Insert the new identity. Become the person you've always wanted to be. Your brain will adapt because, just like it clung to the old, it will cling to the new. Persist through the discomfort. Keep rejecting the old self and reinforcing the new one, and watch your mind rewire for a confident, unstoppable version of you. Now your mind is a blank slate, impressionable. This is the window to rebuild yourself from scratch, shaping your identity exactly as you want. For the next 24 hours, live as if your transformation is complete. Don't try to be the new you, you are the new you. Want confidence? Speak, move, and act like someone with unshakable confidence. Want dominance? Take control of conversations, decide fast, never hesitate. Want fearlessness? Act before your brain generates fear. At first, your mind may whisper, "This isn't me." But your old identity was just a story, and so is this new one. The difference, now you are the author. If you are serious about upgrading your mind and taking control, don't miss these 2 resources I created for people like you. 1. The Whisperer's Handbook. A tactical guide to understanding human behavior and influencing outcomes. 2. The Whisperer's Formula. A roadmap to mastering elite focus strategies, brain hacks, and confidence techniques that separate you from the ordinary. These aren't just books, they are mental tools for transformation. Grab both ideas from the description below and take your transformation even deeper. Most people try this method, feel an immediate shift, but then slip back into old habits. Why? Because their environment, routines, and thoughts are still wired for their old identity. If you want this transformation to last, you need to reinforce it with deliberate action. Here are 2 simple techniques to solidify your new identity. 1. Change your environment immediately. Your surroundings constantly trigger who you were. If you don't disrupt them, they'll pull you back to your old self. Change your physical space, rearrange your room, remove items that represent the old you, and add things that match your new self. Change your digital world, delete distracting apps, unfollow people who encourage old habits, and set reminders that keep your transformation in focus. Change the people you interact with. If someone always sees you as your old self, limit your interaction with them. Their perception anchors you to the past. The more unfamiliar your environment feels, the easier it is to detach from your old identity. 2. Speak your new identity out loud with conviction. Your subconscious believes whatever you repeat with certainty. For the next 7 days, speak and act as if your transformation is already complete. Say these affirmations out loud. I am a confident speaker. I am the type of person who commands attention effortlessly. I act with unshakable confidence. At first, it may feel fake, but if you say it with conviction and act accordingly, your mind will accept it as reality. Once this happens, your old identity fades away. If you commit fully, something amazing will happen. Your mind will feel clearer, your old thoughts will seem foreign, and doubts will feel like they belong to someone else. People will notice the change even before you speak. You'll feel a level of control you've never felt before. Most people live trapped inside an identity they never chose, believing they are stuck. But today, you proved them wrong. You took control. Now ask yourself, how far do you want to take this? If you can change your identity overnight, what else have you been told is impossible? Most people never attempt to change their identity overnight, not because they can't, but because they fear what happens when they do. This method is powerful because it overrides the deepest part of your mind, the part that keeps you trapped in who you think you are. But with great power comes responsibility, and that's why 99% of people never try this technique. Here's why this transformation is so powerful, and why it might be too much for some. 1. It breaks the personality illusion. Society has conditioned you to believe your personality is fixed. That's just who I am. Some people are confident, some aren't. You can improve, but you can't completely change. That's a lie. Your personality isn't permanent. It's a collection of habits. It's flexible, adaptable, and can be rewritten anytime. But if you accept this, you can't use your old identity as an excuse. You can't say, I can't do that because I'm not like that. When you realize you can change overnight, every limitation you accepted becomes a choice. Once you see this truth, there's no going back. 2. It gives you an advantage over others. Most people spend years trying to change. They read books, set goals, and slowly improve. Meanwhile, you did it in 24 hours. You don't wait for confidence. You install it instantly. You don't slowly fix habits. You override them immediately. Fear doesn't hold you back. You remove it before it can exist. People notice the change and wonder, how did you change so fast? You act like a completely new person overnight. While others are stuck in slow loops, you've hacked the system. 3. You may lose connection to your old self. Once you override your old identity, you may struggle to remember who you used to be. Past fears may feel alien, and relating to people stuck in your old mindset may be hard. You may question if the old you even existed, and for some, this can feel unsettling. If you're not the person you were yesterday, then who are you? The answer, whoever you decide to be. Most people aren't ready for that freedom. They're comfortable being trapped in a familiar identity. That's why this method is powerful. It removes the illusion of self and forces you to take control. Most people prefer predictability over the unknown. But you're still here, which means you're ready for this power. Now you have a choice. Forget everything you've learned and return to the version of yourself built by habit and fear, believing change takes time. Or use this method right now. Override the old you. Step into the new identity you choose. Experience waking up tomorrow as a completely different person. Most will hesitate, most will go back to old ways, saying it's impossible. But a few, who truly understand, will take action. Now the only question is, which one are you?